Okay, so we're going to do a comparison here. These two pictures are exactly the same. Remember the one from Citizen Kane? Remember? I told you that's his mind. That's him. You see the angles here? So we're going to draw, we'll use red here. It goes like this. See this here? See this angle? This is what the song "It's a Small World" by Walt Disney. You see how he keeps getting farther away, but it appears he keeps getting smaller. They're singing "It's a small world after all," because it's this whole thing about going round and round. It's a small world. You see how it looks like he's shrinking, but it's not. It's the loop. It's the perspective. But that's him. But he created from this head. He created this world. From this head, he created this world. From this head, he created this world. Right? So from this head, he created this one. This one here. From this head, he created this world. From this head, he created this world. From this head, he created this one. So that song, "It's a Small World," is in reference to that. Now, this is a group called Rush. Some of you know them. They're big in the 70s, and they still do good stuff. But what's important about this is look at here. Let's see. See the guy's face? Right? See it? See the gears? See the guy's face over here? Same guy. See the face over here? See this? See this merry-go-round? That's the same picture as over here. It's the same thing. It's identical. See all the gears? See all of this? See, but they don't explain this to their friends. I guess that's part of the deal. You know, when I say friends, I mean fans. They don't explain that. They do that on purpose so that you don't figure it. Let me see. There's another picture here. I don't know if I got it. Hang on. Here's another picture of, this is the guy that was in it, Orson Welles. Right, there he is there. Right? And that he played this character. But you notice how they made it look. Not only did they show you that it's going down at the same angle here, but he's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Right? So they gave it the effect of like a insect looking thing, which would be the Archon. But this is how it works. And that song by Disney, "It's a Small World After All," is because he created another reality in his head, which made this reality. Within this reality, another reality was created, which made this guy. Then it made this guy and made this guy. It just keeps going. And that's what they're showing you over here in the merry-go-round sequence. That's what they're showing you. It's just, you understand? You can draw the same thing as a spiral going down. Because every time the spiral goes round, the circle inside gets smaller. So they're showing you the same thing. It's a small world after all. It has nothing to do with what people think they're referring to. Do you understand? This is how it works. So the original fuck up, when Cain went to Nod, he went into his head, and it said he built a city, and I'll bet the name of that city is Zion, because Neo's name in Hebrew is Cain. And what did he do? He saved Zion, right? Which is all tied in with the Jews. And who are they? Well, they're the chosen ones, right? The chosen for what? They're sex slaves to the Archons, because they keep this fucking "it's a small world" bullshit going, right? They keep it going because it's all about what? It's all about creation. Because without it, they cease to exist. And so Cain created a world in his head, and the people in that world created people in their heads, and the people in the next world created worlds in their head, and it just keeps going. And it just keeps going. And then they have guys like this group Rush, that could get up there and say, do you guys see this up here? Do you know what that represents? Do you guys have any idea? But they won't, because maybe that's part of the game. We ain't going to tell you. You got to figure it out for yourself. And I'll tell you what, you guys have watched my videos for a long time. You don't just figure it out. It takes a lot of fucking intensive study and looking at stuff, and sometimes a lucky break or hearing something that triggers something that allows you to connect two pieces. You don't just figure it out. So I haven't been on the last couple days. I went up and I got a, well, it's not a new truck. The one truck I had, I sold it and then bought another truck. I had to go up to Wisconsin to get it. And as soon as I hit the highway, the heater stopped. And it's 3.5 hour drive back down here to the airport. And it was 0. So imagine sitting in something at 0 degrees with no hat or gloves for 3.5 hours. And I mean, and then it started snowing and sleeting. And I had no defrosters. So now, you know how the windshield wiper makes like a little slat that you can see through? I'm driving at night. I can't see the road. I got oncoming traffic, and I'm in this massive truck that weighs 34,000 pounds. And I'm like, this thing just went on and on and on. I was like, what the fuck? So I was in no mood to make a video yesterday, and the day before that I was getting ready to, so, you know, I didn't forget about you guys. I've just been busy with some stuff. So what I want to do is in the spring is I want to put cameras here at the airport so that you guys can log into the website and be able to see the airport and the airplanes and all of that stuff. You know, you can look around here and stuff. Just a little something. And I think the other thing is, you know, it's come down to this. The same 40-something people are donating all the time. I'm not asking for any donations. That's not where this is going. It's the same people over and over and over. And it makes me question, who are these other people that are sitting out there that ain't saying nothing? Bots. A lot of them are bots, data mining. Some of them are people from other websites that are watching. I don't know, maybe government people, who knows? But the bottom line is, at some point I have to draw the line. And it comes down to this. The people that have been loyal and stuck around here and have took money out of their pockets, this isn't, I'm trying to be mean. It's just, it's not fair for them to be carrying the brunt of this thing. Well, it says I got 600 and something subscribers, but only it's always the same 40-something that keep donating. I'm just cutting the rest of you out. I'm just going to put a password that only the people that donated can get in. It's not because you didn't give any money. It's the principle of the thing. You know, I see my stuff show up all over the place. Frankly, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of my stuff showing up on other people's website and YouTube stuff. Not because I don't want people to know that stuff, but I learned a long time ago, you know, that people will just take your stuff and parrot it and then claim it as their own. Well, it doesn't belong to anybody. It was here before we got here. But, you know, it's not about, I don't want any money from anybody at this point because we do this every 6 months. But it's like getting to be old hat. It's not fair to the people that are interested in it, that actually want to see this stuff keep going. It's just how this place works. I'm sorry. Sometimes you do got to follow the rules of this place. And you get what you give. If you don't give anything, you don't get nothing. So this isn't a bitch fest. And I'm not yelling at anybody. I'm just telling you, sooner or later, you know, I'm going to narrow this down to the same 40 people. And that's just going to be it. I'm going to lock this site out. I'm seeing too much of this stuff getting parroted all over the place. And the thing is you can't go anywhere with it. Because if it isn't the thought coming out of your head, you ain't going to know how to finish it. So what's the point of stealing it? What, so that you can look like you figured something out? When you didn't? You see, you can't finish the equation. You can't finish the rest of the story, so to speak. So, whatever. You know, this isn't a bribery thing like, oh, if you don't give me money, I'm going to boot you out. If you've been on my page for 2 years and you haven't done anything and you've just left the same 40 people, do you think that's right? I mean, there is, at some point, you have to call take a moralistic view of it and say, what are you guys doing? You come here and you watch my stuff and then you leave, and then where do you go with it? So this is coming to an end. This shit ain't going to keep going on like this. It's not fair to the people that have actually continually helped out. So I'm not being mean, and I don't want your money. It's not about trying to bribe you into giving me money right now. I'm just telling you, I discussed this with somebody the other day, and it's not fair. You know, basically all I'm going to do is restructure my webpage, and if you don't have the right shit, you don't get in. It's as simple as that. I didn't want it to come to this, but for fuck's sake, it's just not fair. Or I can just shut down the website and then nobody gets nothing. And you know, I don't feel right about doing that either, because there's people that have paid money that try to help, that want to. It's a place where they can come and converse. You know that this web page here, are you aware that for some people, most likely the 40 that keep helping out, it's a place where they can come and talk and look at stuff where they can't go anywhere else in the world. Are you aware of that, right? That's why they come here, because it's somewhere where they can go to look at the type of stuff we look at, because there's nowhere else in the world for them to go. They can't talk to their family. They can't talk to their friends. Most of you ain't got friends. I know I don't. I got a couple of people on here that are real good people that I talk to, but I don't really have like friends like you think. I'm in a tree or I'm in an airplane. That's my life. So this place, it's kind of like set up where people can come from all over the place and hang and talk with other people. But guys, it's not fair that you make them carry the load and you don't. Again, I don't want you to donate. Don't all of a sudden go to the donate button and give me the money. It's not about that. If the donation every 6 months was a dozen eggs, you guys ain't going to fucking picking out the eggs from the chickens. It ain't fair. So either I got to make this private for the people that do contribute and try and keep it going and boot everybody else out, or I got to shut down the page. It's as simple as that. Sometimes you have to play by the rules of this world, and if you get what you give, and if you give nothing, you get nothing.